All right. Our viewer, Ray Clubfoot, writes, well, another day, another Ezra Miller story. They now face up to 26 years in prison for previous burglary. They pled not guilty, but there might be surveillance footage, and based on their previous actions, it's not hard to believe. How does this affect Flash yet again? Do they really still plan on limited press for them? Really? LOL, what do you guys think? All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, Ray. And another day, Ezra Miller. Only this time is nothing new that Ezra did. Okay, so a lot of people I know, I always sound like, what did Ezra do now? Ezra hasn't done anything new this time. This is talking about what's going on. Well, we are now starting to get an idea about what some of the consequences that Ezra Miller could face. Ezra Miller made his first appearance in court the other day, and of course, they pled not guilty. Now, of course, in court, pleading not guilty does not necessarily mean that they're saying, I didn't do what they're saying we did. You could be found not guilty for a whole bunch of different reasons, and that could be the part of the plea. Anyway, this comes to us from the folks over at Variety who wrote this. Variety said the following. They said the Flash's star, Ezra Miller, pleaded not guilty to burglary charges in Vermont court Monday morning. Miller, who's charged with burglary into an occupied home and petty larceny, faces up to 26 years in prison if convicted of both charges. Miller appeared in Bennington Superior Court virtually with their lawyer. The actor is accused of breaking into a residence in Stamford, Vermont on May 1st. After investigating at the time, Vermont State Police had discovered several missing bottles of alcohol from the property while the homeowners were not present. After collecting statements and reviewing surveillance footage, police charged Miller with felony burglary. All right, so here's the situation. When they break down the various charges that Miller is facing right now, the one charge can carry up to 25 years. The second charge, I think it's the petty larceny, can carry up to 1 year and a couple $1,000s. So, and that could be concurrent. So theoretically, Ezra Miller is facing up to 26 years in prison. Now, here's the reality. Ezra Miller will not get 26 years of jail time. Not for these particular charges at any rate. Like whether or not any real charges ever come up with the whole child grooming allegations, all kind of stuff.
Or the assaults.
Or the assaults, like whether that comes up later. We are simply talking about the burglary and larceny. So there could be other things. But I will tell you right now that Ezra Miller will not get 26 years for this. All right? I believe, based on the very limited information I have, I do believe Ezra is going to get some jail time, though. Probably 6 months to a year or a year and a half. Could face nothing, but I think ultimately what this will probably come down to, especially in light of all the other stuff, that Ezra could get a little bit of jail time and then face, 5 to 7 years of probation and whatever after this. Look, the bottom line is this. Whether they get a long jail term or they get a very short jail term or whatever, I think there is a very real chance here. And the gears of justice move slowly and the courts move slowly. There's a lot of procedures and a lot of pomp and circumstance, but there is theoretically a reality here in which Ezra Miller could be in jail the day The Flash premieres. Now, not joining us on the red carpet today, or joining us virtually from San Quentin, here is Flash star Ezra Miller, joining on some big screen. Hi, everybody. So glad to be here. Again, it very well could be that this case will still be in court when the premiere happens. Listen, in jail or not, I've said for a while, I don't think Warner Brothers even lets Ezra Miller go to the premiere because that's going to be just a huge distraction. No one's going to be talking about the movie. Everyone's going to be talking about Ezra Miller and not in the ways you want them to. So up to 26 years, I don't think it's going to come anywhere near that. I do think it's possible that they do actually get a little bit of jail time, and there is theoretically a possibility they could be in jail when this movie premieres. Anyway, Rob, whole lot of information here. What do you make of all this?
Well, I think a lot of the law is based on intent. And they talk about a 25-year prison sentence for felony burglary with an occupied home.
Plus the petty larceny charge.
Petty larceny and all that. Okay. The guy did nothing that high school students haven't done. Like, I've stolen booze. Of course, I stole from my own house. But I mean, you know what I mean? It's not like
and you continue to.
And that's true. And what have I learned? But I just think that, look, he stole a couple of bottles of booze. It's not like, I think that's going to come up. That'll be something that's pled. I mean, sure, he still broke in someplace, but even that's a little nebulous as to what exactly was going on. If you read about what actually was going on with that case, it's a little odd. Like, it's not like he just was walking down the street and just decided 1 minute to go, I think I'm going to go into that house and steal booze. So I think it's going to come out like, do I think he's going to go to jail? Probably not. I don't think he will. But like you said, he could. With all the extra stuff that's going on, he might have the book thrown at him. In which case, he's going to learn real quick that he probably shouldn't break into people's houses.
Chris, what's your takeaway from all this that we're hearing now?
Gosh, this is all just a nightmare. I mean, I definitely think because of the crisis of mental health that has been cited here, I do believe, there's going to be some kind of plea deal or bargain or something of that nature. But I do think everything's going to get compounded by all of the other accusations that have been thrown against them.
Yeah, see that, and that can come into play.
Exactly. The alleged child grooming, the alleged assaults, all of these things that have multiple witnesses, at least for the assaults that took place in Hawaii. I mean, a lot of really messed up stuff went down here. So I think this is just the first charge we're seeing brought to light.
But also, I mean, they're going to go to court.
Yes.
They're going to go to
Absolutely
court.
they are.
And they are going to have to plead their own case. And all we've heard is news reports.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I would like to hear them stand up and say, here's what's going on, and have somebody explain it.
Well, and I would like a actual change in behavior and an actual apology and acceptance of what they've done. Because so far what has been released have been very, very well manicured public release statements. Press
absolutely,
releases,
yeah.
Of I have been dealing with this and I need to get it together and these kinds of things. Great, wonderful. I love that. I hope you change. I hope you get better. You've hurt people. You've hurt every person who's worked on this film. You've tainted a potential franchise and you've taken the work of so many people and made it so this is the only thing they talk about. That's not okay. And it's not okay to do all the things that have been done, which is, the most basic thing that you learn in kindergarten is to not hurt other people or steal from them.
And
it's infuriating.
Because it's a court of law, whatever they're accused of and whatever the timeline of events was, it'll be detailed legally.
It'll be broken down, yeah.
They'll have to become accountable for what was done and how it was done and when it was done and why it was done.
And it should be said here that all of us and all of you watching this, none of us were there.
Exactly.
None of us actually stuff is going to come out in court that is the actual real evidence and real proof, not the news reports and headlines and what they did or did not do. And, Ezra is going to get their day in court and we'll see what comes of that. Question is for you. What do you think is going to come of this? Could we actually be seeing a Flash world premiere in a couple of months with Ezra Miller not there, which I do think is possible, but not there because they're in prison somewhere? Also, I still believe this movie gets a title change. I think ultimately they're going to change the name of this movie to
Batman Flashpoint.
Batman Flashpoint.
Yep.
I think they're actually going to change. Again,
There is no Flashpoint. There is no Flash movie, only Flashpoint.
only Flashpoint.
Batman
Now, again,
point, and he just
Yes.
makes good points the whole movie.
the whole
Exactly.
point. I cannot prove this. I have no insider information. I'm just saying I still bet they're probably going to change the name of it. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? I mean, I don't think there's any way Ezra gets 26 years. Then again, depending on what comes out in court, I have no idea. But what do you think ultimately is going to happen here? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, we want to take a second and thank a sponsor of today's video, DraftKings. NBA fans, the wait is over. Basketball is back, so tip off the new season with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers can make any $5 NBA moneyline bet and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. So check this out. In addition to the usual bets, everyone can boost up their winnings up to 100% with DraftKings stepped-up same-game parlays. Just go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, opt in, and place a stepped-up same-game parlay today. With payouts bigger than ever, DraftKings Sportsbook is where you need to go to bet on the NBA. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the promo code Campea, that's CAMPEA. Make any $5 bet this week and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code Campea. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See the show notes for details.